The Bangles are the most successful all-female rock band in music history. During the 1980s, the Bangles released 3 multi-platinum albums and 8 top 40 hits in 9 countries, including 2 number-1 singles. The most commercially successful of the Bangles LPs on Columbia Records was their 1986 release, Different Light. This album instantly elevated the Bangles to international fame and secured the group's place in the history of rock music. This video is a song-by-song analysis of Different Light, with particular emphasis on the diverse musical styles present on the album, the effective use of each of the Bangles as vocalists, instrumentalists, and songwriters, and the controversial enhancements insisted upon by producer David Kahn. Hopefully the viewer will gain a deeper appreciation for the band's musical achievements featured on Different Light, as well as the songwriting talents of its members. Released on January 13, 1986, Different Light was an immediate success, certified a gold record by April, and achieving multi-platinum status the following year. The LP reached the number 2 spot on Billboard's Top 200 albums and was also a top 10 LP in the United Kingdom, Canada, Australia, and New Zealand. The 4 U.S. singles from Different Light were all top 40 hits, with Manic Monday reaching the number 2 spot and Walk Like an Egyptian being the Bangles' first number 1, where it remained for 4 consecutive weeks. The other 2 singles, If She Knew What She Wants and Walking Down Your Street, peaked at number 29 and number 11 respectively. All 4 singles had music video releases that were played heavily on MTV, one of which, Walk Like an Egyptian, won the Best Music Video category at the 5th Annual American Music Video Awards in 1987. The success of Different Light also led to the Bangles winning the United Kingdom's Brit Award for Best International Group in February of 1987.
All I can say is that some of the music that inspired us to become writers, singers, and players came from this country. Yeah. And we are very, very pleased and honored. We'd like to thank Miles Copeland, Mike Gormley, and Tony Diamond Brinsley for helping us so much, and for CBS Records for supporting us in this country. And thank you all very much, because it means a lot.
Different Light features a total of 12 songs, 8 of which were written by members of the Bangles themselves, while the remaining 4 were composed by various other writers. The use of outside songwriters gave rise to the inaccurate assumption that the Bangles could not compose enough of their own material for the album, when in fact it was their packed touring schedule after the release of their first LP that left no opportunity for band members to write for any length of time before they were thrust into the recording studio for the Different Light sessions. The bias against female songwriters in the male-dominated culture of the recording industry at the time was also partially to blame. This bias was also present in producer David Kahn, who insisted upon his own personal vision of the final product and frequently clashed with band members over the use of session musicians as well as electronics to enhance the album.
David had one of those minds where he could only see it one way, his way.
He'd be in the control room holding the little button, the talkback button, going, do it again, you know, with this complete depressed, it just made you feel terrible, like this big.
Thankfully, Kahn's overproductions did not affect the band's live performances, and the Bangles were able to retain their authentic garage band roots on stage. Different Light begins with the single that gave the group their first worldwide hit. Written by Prince under the pseudonym Christopher, Manic Monday climbed all the way up the charts to number 2 on Billboard's Hot 100 singles. Ironically, in the number 1 spot was the song Kiss, also written by Prince. Having seen the Bangles in performance, Prince offered Manic Monday to the group, who subsequently took the song and arranged the music to feature their trademark 4-part vocal harmony sound. With Susanna Hoffs on lead vocal, the addition of synthesized strings to enhance the garage band instrumentation, and relatable lyrics about the hectic beginning of the work week, Manic Monday became an instant pop rock anthem and one of the most recognizable hits of the 1980s. Co-written by Susanna Hoffs and Vicki Peterson, with Vicki on lead vocals, the title track to Different Light is a fast rock song containing wonderful four-part vocals and a strong rhythmic drive complete with wah-wah guitar, giving an edgy retro feel to the music. The lyrics are about taking a few steps away from a relationship to gain some perspective. Alternating between verses in C-sharp minor and a chorus in E major, the song changes from dark to light at the moment the lyrics describe a more enlightened view of the relationship. In a Different Light was also issued as the B-side to the Manic Monday single. Walking Down Your Street was the fourth single released from the Different Light LP, reaching number 11 on the Billboard Hot 100 singles charts. Co-written by Susanna Hoffs and fellow guitarist Louis Gutierrez from the Paisley Underground band The 3 O'Clock, Walking Down Your Street is a simple, upbeat song about obsessive desire. Musical highlights include the lead vocals by Susanna Hoffs, as well as catchy bass guitar passages from Michael Steele. The video from Walking Down Your Street is also notable for its light comedy and guest appearances by Dennis Miller, Randy Quaid, and Little Richard. Walk Like an Egyptian was the third single from Different Light and became one of the defining songs of the 1980s, giving the Bangles their first number one single in the U.S. as well as 7 other countries. Written by songwriter and producer Liam Sternberg, he presented a demo to Bangles producer David Kahn, who liked the song and offered it to the Bangles for the Different Light album. Originally intended to feature Debbie Peterson on lead vocals, Kahn regulated Debbie to background vocals only, giving a verse each to Vicki, Michael, and Susanna. Even more insultingly, Kahn substituted a synthesized drum machine for Debbie's live playing. Even in concert performances, Debbie was limited to backing vocals and tambourine, as well as miming the whistling hook before the final verse, which was actually recorded by Kahn himself. As a result, the Bangles had a love-hate relationship with Walk Like an Egyptian. While it gave the band its first number one hit single and catapulted the group to international stardom, the song was also a large source of tension during the recording sessions and tended to overshadow some of the Bangles' more serious work. Walk Like an Egyptian remained in the number one slot for 4 consecutive weeks and was the Billboard Hot 100 Song of the Year for 1987. Like it or not, it remains one of the quintessential hits of the 1980s, a decade in which rock music was, more than anything else, about just having a lot of fun. Co-written by Susanna, Debbie, and Vicki, Standing in the Hallway gives Debbie Peterson the opportunity to shine on lead vocals. The lyrics deal with the confusion and heartbreak of a one-sided relationship that is deteriorating. Although the music feels a little oversaturated with electronics added by the producer, the Bangles' excellent 4-part vocal harmonies elevate the song above the average synth-pop music of the times. Co-written by Susanna and Vicki, Return Post is one of the most creative songs on Different Light. Sung by Vicki, the lyrics address the complexities and challenges that occur when a long-distance relationship creates a sense of unfamiliarity and uncertainty. The emotional disconnect between two individuals is symbolized by letters being sent back and forth. The music is in a mid-tempo swing style, complete with finger snaps and a prowling bass line. The use of Neapolitan chords in the verses adds a rich, colorful tension to the music before resolving to a tonic chord. At the end of the song, the swing style changes to a straight beat to allow the band to have some fun improvising with each other during live shows. Side B of Different Light begins with If She Knew What She Wants, the second single released from the LP. Written by Jules Shear the previous year, the Bangles version features Susanna on lead vocals with the rest of the group echoing the words to create lush harmonies. The lyrics address someone in a relationship who wishes to satisfy the partner but doesn't know how because the other person isn't sure what she wants. Critics praised the Bangles version as an infectious pop-rock ballad with a seductive charm. One writer quipping that this is what the Byrds would have sounded like had they been chicks. If She Knew What She Wants became a top 40 single in 4 countries, peaking at number 29 on Billboard's Hot 100. Let It Go is a fantastic upbeat rock song about letting go of a relationship and moving on when it is obviously over. The song was composed collectively by all 4 Bangles together in just under an hour, featuring some of the Bangles' best 4-part vocals with no one person serving as lead singer. Let It Go is one of the Bangles' best group collaborations and an indication of what the band could have accomplished on their own had they been allowed more creative freedom.
East and west, where to go when it's over, when it's done, let it go.
September Girls is a cover of a 1974 release by big star songwriter Alex Chilton. This track is the first song by the Bangles to feature bassist Michael Steele on lead vocals, creating a wonderful contrast to the other tracks of Different Light. The band also performed September Girls often in live performance, and the song remains one of the band's more popular covers. One controversy about the album track, which has been widely debated, was the inclusion of a backwards guitar solo performed by one of the session musicians at the insistence of producer David Kahn. While the talent of the guitarist is not in question, the solo itself is uncharacteristic with the rest of the song and in no way resembles the style or spirit of the original Big Star recording. In live performances, however, Vicki Peterson would play a much more effective solo that better reflected the style and character of the music. Co-written by Vicki and Susanna, Angels Don't Fall in Love is a powerful song that explores the danger of being drawn to someone who is incapable of any genuine romantic connection. The lyrics, sung by Vicki, are a warning about the futility of chasing an idealized, emotionally unavailable person. Viewing someone as perfect leads only to frustration and ultimately the heartache of a one-sided infatuation. On the Different Light album, the fade-out at the end of the song had one of producer David Kahn's more effective additions, the inclusion of some marimba keyboard playing that supports the guitar parts without overshadowing the rest of the music. Kahn. During live Bangles shows, however, this musically climactic song was almost always performed towards the end of the concert, where the band members would add musical characteristics more in line with a heavy metal style of playing, which was just as effective, if not more.
Think I'm crazy or something. Always following you around. You say
Following is unlike any other song on Different Light. Composed and performed acoustically by Michael Steele, Following is a haunting introspective ballad that deals with the jealousy and obsession that follows a breakup. Released as a single, but only in Europe, Following did manage to make the charts in both the United Kingdom and Republic of Ireland. It remains one of the most unusual songs in the Bangles' discography and provides a marvelous contrast to everything else on the album. Co-written by Susanna, Debbie, and producer David Kahn, the Different Light album ends with a song that describes being there for someone who has made an uncharacteristic mistake and suffered a drastic loss due to their actions. Sung by Debbie, Not Like You is a breezy mid-tempo song filled with beautiful four-part vocal harmonies and some less predictable chord progressions, such as a secondary dominant chord in each verse and the use of modal cadences in all of the instrumental riffs. Some nice guitar and keyboard work also adds character to the song and ends the album with a more carefree feeling, a welcome release from the angst and intensity of the previous two songs. Different Light was by far the most commercially successful of the Bangles releases and rightfully deserves its place among the greatest albums of the 1980s. There are simply no weak songs on the entire LP, and every track is unique in its style and content. Different Light effectively manages to integrate both the elements of classic guitar rock and 1980s synth pop into a combined whole that is greater than the sum of its parts. While there is no question that the Bangles and producer David Kahn clashed over many creative decisions, leading to an atmosphere of tension in the studio, the massive success of the final product cannot be denied. In spite of the occasional presence of overproduction throughout the album, it must be remembered that this practice was the standard for almost all popular music during the mid-1980s, and not unique to the Bangles. Placed in its proper historical context, Different Light is the quintessential pop-rock album of the mid-1980s, and its music still entertains listeners to this day. Thank you for watching.
this could happen to